Hello my lovelies, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be looking at some TikTok fat acceptance videos that apparently are very cringeworthy.
Have you ever heard of set point theory? Let's talk about it. Set point theory states that for any given person, there is a body weight, or more likely a range of body weight, of about 20 pounds in either direction, where a person's body feels the most comfortable, the safest, and is the most likely to be healthy and metabolically healthy. Now, keep in mind that this is a scientific theory, which doesn't mean it's just an idea or a hypothesis. It means that there is data to back this up. Now, it might seem logical to assume that set point for most people is going to fall somewhere within the normal BMI range, but it turns out that that is not true. Depending on the individual, their set point or set range can fall anywhere on the huge range that bodies can fall on in terms of size. And whatever a person's set point or set range is, their body is going to work tirelessly to keep them there.
Okay. I see where she's coming from. Allow me to retort. So the set point that she's talking about is where your body weight settles. Okay, so what a lot of people find is if they lose weight, that their body will then fight to get their weight back up. That doesn't mean that that weight is where your body is happy. Your body stores fat for lean times, but you know, in the Western world at the moment, we never have lean times. So no, yes, most people's set point is going to be within the healthy BMI range for their height.
Hot take of the day, WALL-E is one of the most fatphobic movies I've ever seen. Because the movie's entire premise hinges on the fact that the worst thing to come out of capitalism is that it made us all fat. They make this out to be a dystopia.
It is a dystopia, and not just because everybody is fat. It's because there is no human interaction between these people in WALL-E. Not until WALL-E turns up anyway and sort of bumps them out of their fog of staring at screens and chugging down calorific food in drink form. WALL-E is not a fat-phobic film. It is telling you that if we continue to, live in the society of overindulgence, that it is a terrible thing for society as a whole. And the fat part of it is just a side effect, just a byproduct of that kind of society. This is why we have such an obesity issue in the Western world.
But all of these people are fed and clothed. They interact with their friends on a daily basis. There's no need for menial labor or exploitation. There isn't any implication that there's any kind of systemic inequality in this world either. And even though they explain that the reason why people have put on weight is because their bone density has lessened without gravity, they're still depicted as gluttons who can't stop drinking big gulps. The only other reason the movie condemns capitalism is because it destroyed Earth. And frankly, I think that's enough. I think saying, Mega Walmart over here destroyed the planet and humans deserve a planet to call home is enough without adding on this we better save the planet so that we don't get fat bullshit. At the end of the day,
I mean, talk about projection. Talk about projection. If you're watching WALL-E and this is your take, I feel sorry for you, because WALL-E is one of my favorite films. I think it's a brilliant film. But yes, I don't. Basically, my take on WALL-E is this massive corporation has completely monopolized the market. That's not capitalism, by the way, not free market capitalism anyway. So this massive, it's called By and Large, isn't it? So it's this massive conglomerate corporation has taken over the the world, I suppose, effectively. I mean, predominantly we're shown America, have taken over and convinced people that they just need to buy their products, their food, their drinks, and the pollution has then made Earth uninhabitable for humans. And as a result, humans have gone for hundreds of years, it seems, if not, I don't know, have gone to live up in space on this huge ship. One of them, anyway, we're shown. So that Wally and his little mates can work at cleaning up the planet for humankind to return. And I don't think it's the lack of gravity that has led to the bone loss. It's the very sedentary lifestyle, because even the babies are floating around.
I think this movie just relies on stereotypes about fatness as a metaphor for like human greed as a whole. And in addition to being fat phobic, I find it very lazy.
On Friday morning.
Stars shining bright.
Oh. Okay. Now, there are ways of eating McDonald's that isn't going to lead to you gaining a load of weight. Personally, if I'm going to have McDonald's, I'll get bunless burgers. I'll just get the burger patties and just eat those. We don't have McDonald's a lot. You know, they do salads. They're not the best salads in the world, but they're also not the worst salads in the world. So that's always an option, is to have salads or even the wraps, you know. Try and avoid the breaded chicken products. Try and avoid the very sweet sauces and stuff like that. There are ways of eating fast food that isn't going to affect you too badly. You know, at the end of the day, the ingredients in a McDonald's burger, just the beef patty, is beef and salt. So it's not that is making people fat. It is the bun, the sauces, the highly processed cheese, and the fries that are cooked in industrial seed oils, which we know are very disgusting and toxic. So yeah. I get sad when I gain weight. I do. I'm currently sitting a little bit up from where I'm comfortable. You know, yes, I'm a personal trainer. I'm not currently working as a personal trainer, but I am a qualified level 3 trainer. But yes, I have struggled with my weight, and I continue to struggle with my weight because if I crave something, I'll tend to binge it. You know, it's nobody's fault but mine. It's not genetics. I have the kind of body type where I can easily put on muscle, but by that same token, I can easily put on fat. So I have to be very careful and sort of pay close attention and be a bit more mindful about what I eat and drink.
Instead of complaining about anything, learn to be thankful for everything.
Wonder when we're going to collectively get rid of our fat phobia on this app. I know it's never going to happen, but even though you might not necessarily be fat phobic, sorry, I was looking at myself in the mirror, I'm really pretty. Even though you might not necessarily be like outwardly fat phobic and body shaming other people, even if you do it publicly about yourself on the app, on any platform, to anybody, it is very fat phobic, and it's annoying. Because you've got fat arms, great. I got a whole fat body. Doctors don't take me seriously, and people don't take me seriously. But I'm glad you gotta complain about your fat arms, and I'm glad you gotta get an ass. Like, no hate to you, obviously. I don't wish hate on anybody. It's just annoying how casual fat phobia is just, like, accepted. And how you guys can be like, oh yeah, my arms are so ugly. But I would never body shame anyone. You just did. Anyways, bye. I'm pretty.
Okay. The kind of conceit that I see in these videos is unreal. Like, there is nothing on this earth that would make me sit and do a video and be like, I'm so pretty, I'm so pretty. Like, get out of your own arse, my God. Yes, you're pretty. And, you know, so you're dragging this one girl because she's saying that, oh, I've got fat arms, but I'm just going to be happy. Isn't that what you want? You want the body positivity, right? And while we're on the subject of body positivity itself is great because it was originally intended for people that couldn't change the fact. So you're talking about people who were missing limbs, for example. And as a veteran, this is part of my new collection, by the way. As a veteran, obviously, I have known people who have lost limbs in wartime, etc. People with scars, like burns victims, people like that. That is what body positivity was meant for, because it was meant to say, yes, I have this particular issue that I cannot change, but I'm still going to love my body and still be confident. And it was a way of making awareness, basically. So, you know, don't stare at me because I have a scar, you know, that kind of thing. But it got hijacked. Body positivity was hijacked by the fat acceptance movement. And hey, if you are overweight or obese and you are confident in yourself and you love your body, then that is amazing. Fair play to you, because I am not like that. I am not overly confident in my body. You know, we're coming up to summer now. I'm wanting to lose a little bit of weight so I can feel a bit more confident. I want to get back into my smaller clothes that I grew out of over winter. So yeah, if you're confident, then that is amazing and more power to you, honey. But let's not kid ourselves and pretend that being overweight and obese is healthy, because we all know that it isn't. And the recent pandemic highlighted that, because if you were overweight or obese, you were more likely to end up in hospital during this last pandemic that happened. So we know that it's not healthy. And the reason the diet and gym industry makes so much money is because deep down, everybody wants to lose weight. And that in itself is not a negative. It is when you get into eating disorder territory, but not everybody's going to end up with an eating disorder because they want to go on a little diet for summer. You know, you have to weigh things up. So yeah, it's great to feel confident, but if to feel confident you need to lose a little bit of weight, then that's fine too. They shame people for wanting to lose weight. When Lizzo turned around and said that she was doing like a shake diet or something to lose a little bit of weight, they came for her. Her fans came for her hard. And that, I mean, they're like the little Tess Holiday minions running around telling people that they can't lose weight. If you want to lose weight, it's fat phobic. It's not fat phobic. It's wanting to be a little bit healthier, because carrying around all that extra weight, particularly the fat that accumulates around your organs, incredibly unhealthy.
One of the most common questions I get is, how can you say there's no relationship between weight and health? And first of all, virtually nobody is saying that. What I and many other fat activists are saying, and in fact we're begging people to understand this, is that as it stands in the current research, the relationship between weight and health is correlational, not causal.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No. It has been categorically proven. We've known this for a long bloody time.
So some research methods 101. When two things are correlated, it means that they're happening at the same time. It does not mean that one thing is causing the other thing. For example, there's a very strong correlation between male pattern baldness and heart attacks, which is true. Now, based on that information, should we ascertain that baldness causes heart attacks? Should we try to get bald men to grow hair in an effort to reduce their likelihood of having a heart attack and then blame them when they can't do it? No, because what's actually happening is that a third factor seems to be at play, which contributes to both baldness and heart attack. What I'm suggesting is that we look much more closely at the third factors at play when it comes to weight and health. For example, fat people frequently have our blood pressure taken with blood pressure cuffs that are too small. The problem with that is that when you use a cuff that's too small, it will always result in a false high reading. And this happens all the time. So these are the kinds of things I think about when someone says that fat people have higher rates of hypertension. I think, of course we do. We are constantly getting false high readings. And more broadly, there are a number of very influential third factors that contribute to the overall trend of health problems for fat people, such as weight stigma, also known as the stress of discrimination, something that fat people experience a lot. Another is weight cycling. Virtually all fat people have tried to lose weight at some point in our lives, but pursuing weight loss is a virtual guarantee that someone will experience weight cycling, which is extremely hard on the body. And finally, we have inaccessible, inequitable, and biased healthcare. Fat people experience all of these things, and all of them contribute to illness. But despite all of these third factors, discrimination, stress, weight cycling, limited healthcare, biased healthcare, incompetent healthcare, and a lack of proper medical equipment, the cultural conversation around weight and health refuses to evolve. People, especially thin people, tend to be very committed to upholding fat phobia. People are just more comfortable believing that fat people do bad things and that leads to bad health, and thin people do good things and that leads to good health, despite the fact that we know that's very misleading, very stigmatizing, and often untrue. Turns out the pushback that I get on this topic, it's not really about health. It was fat phobia all along, guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I lost a few brain cells just then. I definitely lost a few brain cells listening to that load of garbage. Oh well, I'm discriminated against, that's why I'm fat. I can't lose weight because I'm a victim. Yes, you're a victim of your own stupidity. Look, losing weight is difficult. It is difficult. I'm not gonna, sit here and say it's very easy to lose weight. There are ways that are easier than others. Like, for example, when I want to lose weight, I will cut back on carbohydrates. They're the only non-essential macronutrient. We have essential fats and essential proteins, but there are no essential carbohydrates. So you can eat, you can thrive and live quite comfortably on very low intake of carbohydrate. So I tend to eat a more ketogenic, sometimes even carnivore way of eating. If you've had a look on my personal channel, then you probably would have seen some of my diet experiment times. Yeah, and I found that actually eating that way, the weight kind of takes care of itself, because you're naturally getting healthier because you're upping your nutrient intake, and provided you're not over consuming, then the weight will naturally come down. I also utilize fasting. Some people are absolutely terrified at the concept of not eating. We've been told for many years now that you have to have 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. Quite regularly, I'll just have 1 meal a day, and provided it's a big enough meal, then that's absolutely fine for me, and it helps me to maintain my weight or even lose a little bit of weight. It just depends on my lifestyle at that time. If I'm just sedentary, sitting around not doing anything, then 1 meal a day is quite easy for me to maintain my weight. If I'm a bit busier and I'm out and about and I'm moving around, or I'm doing some exercise, lifting my weights or whatever, then the weight will start to come off a little bit. But yeah, my God, the ignorance is startling. It's startling. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll see you very soon.